Okay, the next subject is setting goals. Let me show you what turned my life every way but loose. Mr. Schoaf dropped this idea on me, changed me completely. Setting goals. Here's what can easily happen if you don't set goals. It's easy to let life deteriorate into making a living instead of designing a life. And we all have a choice. Make a living or design a life. It's easy to get trapped by economic necessity and settle for existence rather than substance. That's easy. But the best advice I can give you on how to break out of that trap is to learn how to set goals. Mr. Schoaf put it to me this way. He said, Jim, if you had enough reasons, you could do the most incredible things. I never forgot how he put that. If you have enough reasons. See, reasons will change your whole life. Mr. Schoaf said to me, he said, Mr. Rohn, I think you've got plenty of intelligence, you've got plenty of talent, you've got plenty of ability. Probably what you lack is plenty of reasons. He said, I don't think your current bank balance is a true indication of your level of intelligence. I was happy to hear that. He said, I think you're much smarter than your present bank balance indicates. And that turned out to be true. I was much smarter. But of course my first question was, well then why isn't it bigger? And he said, you don't have enough reasons. You've got enough intelligence, but not enough reasons. So see, reasons can change your life. Here's what else I found out. Reasons come first, answers come second. You don't get the answers to do well till you get the reasons. Life has a mysterious way of hanging on to all the answers and only gives them up to the people that are inspired by reasons. So reasons make the difference in how your life works out. Now, what are some of the reasons for doing well? Let's go through a quick list called Reasons for Doing Well. First is personal reasons. Some people do well for recognition. Some people do well for respect. Some people do well for the way it makes them feel. They love the feeling of being a winner. Those are good reasons. I have some millionaire friends that keep working 10, 12 hours a day, making more millions. And it's not because they need the money. It's because they need the joy and the satisfaction and the pleasure that comes from being a constant winner. And see, it's not just the money anyway. It's the journey, not the money. Once in a while somebody says to me, boy, if I had $1 million, I'd never work another day in my life. That's probably why the good Lord sees to it they don't get their million, right? They'd quit. They'd quit. Okay. Next is family reasons. Some people do extremely well for other people, and that's powerful. Human beings can greatly affect each other. Sometimes we will do things for somebody else we will not do for ourselves. We're made that way. I met a man one time who said, Mr. Rohn, to do all the things I want to do with my family around the world, he said, I got to have at least $250,000 a year. I thought, incredible. Could a guy's family affect him that much? And the answer is, of course. How fortunate are the people that find themselves greatly affected by somebody for personal achievement. And we are affected. The writer of a recent song said, "If not for you, the winter would hold no spring, couldn't hear a robin sing. I just wouldn't have a clue if not for you." So we can be affected. That might be one of the most stimulating reasons to do well, finding somebody. When Andrew Carnegie died, the wee little Scotsman that built the big steel industry, when he died, they opened up his desk, and in one of the desk drawers, they found a slip of paper. On that piece of paper, Mr. Carnegie had written his goal for his life, and he wrote it when he was in his 20s. And on that piece of paper, it said, "I'm going to spend the first half of my life accumulating money. I'm going to spend the last half of my life giving it all away." What a goal. He got so inspired by that goal that the first half of his life, he accumulated $450 million. And the last half of his life, he gave it all away. Good question tonight. What's got you turned on? What's got you bombed out of sight to get up early and stay up late and hit it all day? Next question. What's got you turned off? When I found the answers to those two questions, my life exploded into change. I finally found out what had me turned off, and I got that cured. And then I got me a long enough list of reasons to turn me on. And once the lights went on for me, age 25, they've never gone out. I've fallen out of the sky a few times, but I've never lost that drive to make something unique out of my life. See, reasons altered my whole life.
How many have somebody that you'd like to do something special for? Raise your hands, please. Let me share with you how I did that. Now I want you to think about your financial freedom number. What does that look like? Pull that up for yourself. Your financial freedom number. Write it down. What is that? That once you do that, once you accomplish that, you become debt-free. I can tell you it's a good feeling. You become debt-free. You have more time for yourself. It gives you more choices. I love to travel. You know, I've been to over 50 different countries. You know, people talk about making America great again. Trust me, we are the greatest on the planet. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Trust me on that. I don't care where I go abroad and have a real good time. When I come through customs, I'm singing "God Bless America." Let me tell you. And so you can donate to causes that you believe in. As you think about your financial freedom number, it alleviates a lot of stress in your life. People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. A friend of mine named Rita Davenport said money ain't important, but it's right up there with oxygen. And let me tell you something, fellas, even if you're as homely as I am, you got some money, women will find something cute on you. Oh, he's got earlobes like Tom Cruise, honey. He's got a walk like Denzel Washington. I used to be so broke I could walk past a bank and trip the alarm. Creditors would call my house and my children would answer the phone and say, "My daddy say he ain't home." And sometimes they would catch me. May I speak to Les Brown? "I'm sorry, but he's not here." "You sound like Les Brown. Don't you go there, big boy." Poverty sucks. I'm telling you. So as you think about your financial freedom number, I want you to multiply it 100 times. And I didn't stutter. I found, based upon my own experience, that most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they do what I did for 14 years, aim too low and hit. And most people don't aim at all. No one could have told me, given my circumstances, Given my beginning, both my birth parents came in here right now, would not know either one. No one could have told me, based upon the fact that when I was in the 5th grade, I was labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failed again when I was in the 8th grade and no college training, that I would be able to do what I'm doing now. I talked myself out of it. I had a friend who talked to me, and I just could not believe that I could do this because I was living out of my memory. There's a book called Learn Optimism. And in this book, Seelman talk about the fact that between the ages of 0 and 5, we determine what's available to us and what's not available because of our environment, because of the conversations we hear, because of what we see and what we observe. As you think about yourself and think about your goals and dreams, something happened for me. Something happened. Special moments in life that can change the trajectory of your life. There's a movie by Denzel Washington called There's Before This and There's After This. And after this, nothing will ever be the same again. And I was working at a radio station in Columbus, Ohio, as a disc jockey. But before that, I met a guy named Leroy Washington. I eulogized him last year. I went in his class looking for a friend of mine named MacArthur Stevens. He said, "Young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me." I said, "Oh, sir, I can't do that." I said, "Why not?" "I'm not one of your students." He said, "Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow." I said, "I can't, sir." The other students started laughing, saying, "He's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT." He said, "What's DT?" "He's the dumb twin." And the kids erupted in laughter. And I said, "I am, sir." And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me. He said, "Don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." And that was a turning point in my life.
Financial freedom is a real big issue today. Financial freedom means that you don't worry about money. Worries about money, by the way, are the #1 reason for marital breakdown. Worries, disagreements, arguments over money. So if you have problems with money, they affect your relationship. If you have problems with your relationship, they affect your health. If you have problems with your health, it affects your peace of mind. And money is a major issue. We've been living through the most affluent country in the most affluent time in all of human history for the last 50 years. We've grown up in a level of affluence that is unimaginable for 95% of the world. And we've come to believe that this is what we're entitled to. You grow up in America, you're entitled to a fat life. One of the things that is leading to major social disruptions is a lot of people are finding that it's not true anymore. Is today, if you want to be financially successful, you're going to have to work very hard. You're going to have to get up early and hit it hard and work all day and work into the evenings. You're going to have to work 6 days a week. There's no wealthy people who work 5 days a week. Zero, nada, nicht, rien de choses. None. There's no successful people who work 5 days a week. Because if you work 5 days a week, you actually only work about 4, and you start late, you leave early, and you waste time all day long. Successful people work long days and they work into the weekends. However, they're doing something they enjoy, and they're doing something they get tremendous satisfaction from because they're making progress, and as a result, it's really not work. The old rule, I found something I love to do and I never worked again the rest of my life. I worked 7 days a week, but I never worked a day. And you'll find that when you do that, which you will before we're finished, when you start to find what it is that you love to do and put your whole heart into it, you never work again, and you get paid more than you ever dreamed of, and you don't even care. You don't even count the money anymore because you're just getting so much satisfaction from using yourself at the very highest level. And so financial freedom, this is something people have to start thinking about. The worst thing you can do today is to be in debt. As you know, as they say, the debt comes and goes, but the interest payments stay forever. And it's the interest that kills you. It's the constant payment. You know that. So one of our goals is to achieve financial freedom. And this isn't something that happens by accident. We don't say, well, geez, I got to show up, I'm financially free this morning. No, what we have to do is we have to set it down and make a plan, and we have to work on it for a long time. It's not something you can do once, it's something you need to do throughout your career. And too many people today are deeply in debt. 70% of Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. 70% of Americans. What that means is that they have no money. They have no reserves. The average American family at the age of 40 for the major breadwinner has a total net worth of about $40,000. And that's including the equity in their home. At the age of 60, they have a net worth of about $62,000. An average of about $1,000 a year. Most people without pensions, that's why there's so much political controversy, without pensions, most people would be destitute. They'd be impoverished because they have nothing. 70% have nothing. Why? It's not because they haven't earned a lot of money. Do you know that if you saved $100 a month for your entire working lifetime, you'd be worth more than $1 million when you're retired? $100 a month. If somebody put a gun to your head, could you save $100 a month? Yes, if your whole future depended upon it, could you save $100 a month? Well, it does. And people don't even save that. They spend it and they buy stuff they don't need to impress people they don't like. The turning point for me, that moment, was when I was struggling in sales. And I went to a top salesperson and I said, "Why are you earning 10 times as much as me?"
It's a great question.
And he said, "Show me your sales method and I will give you some advice." I said, "I don't have a sales method." He said, "Well, that's your problem." He said, "Selling is a science. It's like cooking with a dish in the kitchen or with a recipe. There's a formula to it. If you follow the formula, you make sales, and it has several parts. And if you don't make sales, except by luck."
Wow.
Well, that was the turning point in my life. And this was what I learned, is that you can learn anything you need to learn to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. And I teach that, and I've taught that for more than 30 years. You can learn anything you need to learn to achieve any goal you can set. If you want to become healthy or wealthy or raise happy children or build a successful business, you can learn how, which means there are no limits. And that was the big turning point in my life. Well, from a very early age, I have been very persistent. And that's really the most important quality, because every successful person fails over and over again. You lose time, you lose money, you take bad jobs, you make bad investments, you start businesses that don't work, or you produce products that don't sell. So I have never thought about failure. And what I learned later was that successful people don't think about failure. If you say, "What were your failures?" they do not have an answer for you, because they can't think of having a failure.
Just learning.
But successful people have learning experiences. Painful learning experiences, expensive learning experiences. But I can't think of ever having failed. I've only had interesting learning experiences. And if you learn from each experience, you get smarter and smarter. And it's part of the process of education, of learning what you need to learn. It is impossible to succeed without failing first, and usually without failing many times.